All right. Well, I had this great idea to call this episode On the Road with We the Kingdom. Now these guys just told me they're just starting a podcast called On the Road with We the Kingdom. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm renaming this or, we'll just have to see. Maybe I'm episode 1. But I have all 4 core members of We the Kingdom here with me, and they are on the road. And we're going to have a good time in a live conversation here. So here we are with We the Kingdom. What an awesome privilege to have all 4 of you in one space. Live from Philadelphia, is that right?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Philadelphia does not look that exciting. Your background looks incredibly boring. Just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
This is just a backdrop. We're actually out in the middle of downtown Philly.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, sounds good. All right, so listen, you guys. I know you're all family. You guys know each other so well. I am brand new to all of you. I've never met you, but I've been following you for so many years. I mean, Praise Charts has been going for 26 years, and I know We the Kingdom hasn't, been around for 26 years, but you guys and the impact of your music, and certainly Ed, the songs that you've written have had a huge impact on me, and I'm so excited about just not only the music that you bring, but I love the I call it kind of a renegade spirit. Like, let's just do something a little different, let's not just fit in the box. Let's blow some things open here and try something new. I'm a bit like that, so I love that heart. So very good. Okay, I got a quick little story I just wanted to share with you. I was in Nashville a couple months ago at the Capitol buildings. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the new Capitol building. And my friend there was like taking me on a tour, and he wanted to show me this new Dolby Atmos studio. You know what I'm talking about? If any of you who are listening don't know, this is like 9 speakers all around. It's like you're swimming in 3-dimensional sound. And the song that we pumped up to the top to test out that system was Won't He Do It? And my goodness, you guys took me on a sound journey. It was awesome. In fact, Ed, if you check your text, my buddy, which I won't mention his name, but he was texting you while he was in the studio, and he's like, buddy, we're in the studio right now, and we're just bringing it down with Won't He Do It? So that was so awesome. Love that. You guys obviously been in that studio, that space. I mean, why not? Let's just talk a little bit about Dolby Atmos sound, just like the surround feeling of, this new generation of music. Ed, could you start, just tell me a little bit about your vision for that, immersion of sound?
Yeah, gosh. Well, I mean, the first time that we ever heard Atmos, we were at at that point in time, one of the few Atmos studios in Nashville. I think there were only 3, and now a lot of other people are jumping on, the bandwagon. But they went in there and they played Rocket Man by Elton John, and I cried.
Really?
Straight up tears. I was so overcome by the sound of it. I was just like, this is so incredible. It's such an incredible song anyway, but just the Rocket Man, when they had that, the background flying over my head, and you really felt like you're flying through space. It was quite remarkable. It is interesting, though. I'm probably going to get a bad email from somebody at Apple from what I'm about to say.
It was kind of
I got a little bit of a personal struggle with that, because having been to an Atmos studio, I have never heard any headphone device even compare on any stratospheric remote level with that experience. It's just it's not the same, and it's a little weird to me that they're marketing it like that. I get it. It does stretch, a little bit of the bounds, but it's sort of like seeing a picture of the Rocky Mountains and then standing in the middle of, of that place and actually getting to smell it, feel it. It is that much of a difference to me personally. So, hopefully maybe that'll transfer into people's homes where they actually you know, there would be cost-effective ways. You know, I know that happened with 5.1, and then people started, you know, employing those types of systems into their, you know, home theaters or whatever. So maybe there's a way to, you know, have a home listening experience that would sort of emulate that.
I got a way. I tell you what, here's what you do is you get in your car and you go to Philadelphia and you get a ticket and you go experience We the Kingdom.
Let's go!
Live.
Right.
I mean, seriously, it's like, do you want to see a picture of the Rocky Mountains, or do you want to go on a hike and immerse yourself in the wind and the waves and the rain and the, you know,
That's
just,
it.
right? And that's the
Yeah.
next thing. I mean, let's hear a little bit from Martin, Andrew, Scott. You guys out on the road. I mean, one of the questions I just wanted to ask, quite frankly, is like life on the road with We the Kingdom. What's it like? Like, what's a day in the life like, and what just like energizes your soul when you get on that stage and you're giving people that 3D experience of like music, fun, energy, faith, all of that. It must be awesome. So someone just pipe in and just give me a little taste of that.
The two things that came to my mind were pickleball and prayer.
Okay, I like
That's all
it.
you need.
The two P's.
Really?
Two P's.
The two P's.
That's the secret to life right there.
Oh, why pickleball? I mean, I like pickleball. I love. Do you guys? What do you play it on the bus or what? What is
It
that?
started with Martin. I'd never played it. Martin had gotten into it, and we were talking with a mentor of the band, and he's like, just encouraging us to. We kind of went through and made some values, and one of those was contagious fun. He's like, how do you guys experience contagious fun on the road?
Yeah.
So Martin was like, hey, I got that. So he brought out this pickleball net and got everybody else addicted to it. So now we're just last night.
Really? He just got Andrew.
No. I knew I was going to say that. Last night I got out of my bunk at like 12 to go to the bathroom, and Scott's just getting in his bunk for the first time after playing pickleball till 12.
Oh, you guys. You know, there's something about that makes you seem so normal. Like, I mean, everybody plays pickleball. Old people play pickleball. Young people, you know, mid-level. My mom literally just posted in Facebook, and it's her and all her friends, and it's like, look at us, how much fun we're having playing pickleball. You know, pickleball. But I like the courageous. Sorry about that. I like the spirit of like courageous fun, or just, you know, I mean, I suppose you got to do that. If you're on the road night after night after night, you got to find a way to, you know, spice it up for yourself. So for sure. Okay. How about someone else like Martin? Take me on stage. How do you keep the life, the energy, the zeal, the passion when you're singing these same songs night after night after night after night? Does it feel fresh every night? Can you do anything to keep it feeling fresh?
I think one thing I've been contemplating recently is like when we got started playing as a live band, I think just some of us being family and the newness of just that, like, it literally felt like high school garage band buzz where you're playing music and these songs that you're writing, hearing them for the first time come through a massive PA, that lights you up, you know? And so I think that kind of translated to stage in a way where we became extremely energetic physically, and like we move around a ton, you know, we love to move. And honestly, I think the purity of that started in just the dancing like David thing. Like when you worship, it should be a sacrifice to your body. Like you're literally giving everything you possibly have to the Lord. But then as we've kind of done it, you know, over the years, it hasn't been 26 years, but it's been, you know, 4 or 5, maybe coming on 6 in some ways. And, you know, to like you're saying, keep drawing from that well for it to feel fresh. I think something I found is just establishing the relationships of the people that you're playing music with. Off the stage. So like going off campus and riding scooters or the pickleball thing or grabbing coffee or having meaningful conversations, so that when you make that eye contact on the stage, it means something more than just playing music or just doing the same songs over and over. You're playing with people you love and that you have intimate relationship with.
Yeah. All right, Scott, it's Scott in the orange hat, right? Okay, this is my question for you. Just picking up off of that is, the thing is, you guys aren't just friends, you're family. So that like takes it to a whole another level. You get to, you know, eat and sleep with the dirty and the good, you know, like it all is there. So what's that like? I mean, it can't be all fun and games. Sometimes there's got to be some pressure. Give me a little bit of the real life of a family on the road like this together.
Yeah, man. So Ed and I are brothers.
All right.
And Martin is Ed's son.
Yeah.
But Ed and I are 11 years apart. So I was like a teenager when I became an uncle to Martin.
He's 11 years older than I am.
No.
I can see it.
So, yeah, man, you know, it's a fascinating thing to be doing life with your adult family members who you're not really, you know, designed to be doing life with, because it's more normal to like go live with your new family who you know your wife and kids and all that, but we're living on a bus together, and so there are all these like these nuances to our relationships that we have to really navigate, because we are ministry partners, we're business partners, we're family members, we're friends, we are roommates in very close quarters. I think the bus is like 300 feet, you know, with 12 people, plus a driver, and so
including the beds.
Yeah, it's like the bus is tight. And so I think for us, we've learned we have to be proactive and guarded against all the ways that relational tensions could create things that start as little hairline fractures and can end as like complete rifts. And we know people who are in our world who there have been massive rifts, you know, and so I can't remember which one of them alluded to it, but we have a buddy of ours who's kind of like an advisor to the band.
Yes.
And we meet with him regularly, and it's really helpful to meet with him because it kind of is a launching pad for us to know how to navigate relationships. And man, there are times where it gets really hard. I think we've been really blessed to have a relatively few number of moments of real intense whatever, but there have been times that have been really hard, and we've had to just say, okay, we have to unpack the tension that's right now, because if we don't, it, you know, that little tiny spark can be a massive fire, you know, if you're not careful. So it's not easy, and it is very complicated, but it's a hard life, man. You know, if we weren't here trying to make sure that we are doing whatever we can to introduce the gospel to people, this life is not worth it. It's not worth leaving home. It's, you know, it's not worth the complexity of all of the relationships if we're not taking Jesus to people. So that's why we do it, man.
Yeah. Wow. So good. Ed, it must be amazing just like listening to your brother and your sons speaking. I'm sure it evokes so many thoughts as a father kind of figure in this whole band experience. A question I have for you is, because, I mean, I don't know how far back it goes. I feel like the first song I really knew of you was How Great Is Our God. And I don't know how many people know that, you know, you were the writer of that with Tomlin, but it was like such a shaping song, certainly from the 90s. But just thinking back into that early era, is this what you envisioned? Is this where you ultimately wanted to go, is to write songs, produce, do all of this, and then one day just get on a bus with your kids and hash out the tough stuff and put on a party for the church? Like, I just want to know, is this what you envisioned, or did it just unfold?
Man, bringing up so much stuff in my heart and my mind.
Yeah.
I had no idea that the Lord had this on the horizon, but someone, a friend of mine, said, you know, isn't the Lord kind? Because here's the deal. I had a solo career as an indie artist going when I was 19, 20, 21. I had drug addiction issues, got sober, put music down for 2 total years because I believed that music was like the thing that led me into this dark lifestyle. God started birthing these songs in me. He revived my love for music, and I started that. And then I fell in love around 23. So I had been traveling a bit as an indie musician, and my wife and I, we just started. When we wanted to have kids, we're like, I don't think it makes sense for me to be out on the road. So kind of gave up that artist thing, but I know that it was always there in my heart to go out and do this thing. But at the same time, I could never have done that alone. I mean, I had too many issues going on in my mind, just lots of healing to do. And I don't know how solo artists do this. I mean, having as complicated as the relationships, like Scott was saying, can be. I think what's even more complicated is being alone. You know, when you're out there by yourself trying to make this thing happen, I feel and pray for the artists I've worked with, through the years, the great sacrifice that they make. So all that to say, was a massive privilege to get to be involved with, a lot of those songs through the years. And I cherish, I feel like the Lord was very kind to still allow me to do what I love to do, be around music, be in the studio environment, get to write songs and, sing backgrounds on things. But we went through a really hard church experience, and we sure didn't anticipate that as a family. All of us were in it, and it was very damaging on a lot of levels. And as a healing balm to our souls, we started to write songs to just sort of process that. And this is what came out of that. It was not, some idea of any person or any man. I really think it was just a work of the Holy Spirit drawing us into this thing that he wanted to do, to take us around and share the gospel with people. So, yeah, I did not anticipate, but it sure was what I was going to say is my friend said, man, it's so cool. He said, I feel like the Lord knew the embers of your heart and the fire that you thought had totally gone out. And in other words, this fire to be able to go out and share as an artist the gospel with people. He's like, he started to blow on those embers and rekindle that fire in a whole new light. And it's just been such a joy. I can't imagine. I would have never, knowing what joy this has been, I would have never wanted to have a solo career, but I love doing this with these fellas. It's amazing.
Wow. So great. Listen, I keep thinking of this question. I don't know if it's appropriate to ask or not, but I'm just going to do it, and I'll delete it out if it's, then we can just have this conversation. But there used to be, Franny was in your group before, and I just want to say I really miss her. I miss her sound, that voice, and at the same time, I love this new sound that you have as well. So it just shows to me that, I don't know what the story is or, what happened. I have, but you've just kind of had to kind of reinvent yourself a little bit and go, oh, maybe we weren't expecting that. Can you just tell me a little bit about the reinvention of yourselves in this new season? Anyone can jump in, or Ed, do you want to start with that?
Sure, I'll start and then they can fill in.
Yeah.
Franny's my daughter.
Yeah.
Scott's niece. It's Martin's sister. Andrew's great friend, and she is precious. Man, I miss her every night for sure. I mean, there's not a night out here that I don't think about her. And
she didn't die, just so everybody knows.
No. She's actually thriving in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
She's doing great. I mean, I've spent a lot of time with her recently, and she's just in a really wonderful space. So as a dad, that makes me thrilled to death. I also do very much miss her, but she was going to take a year break, and I think it's, going to be more indefinite than that. And there may be a time where we come back together, but, do something. But, put us in a position of, okay, guys, are we on the right path? Do we want to continue to do this? And it really, Andrew mentioned it, we have a band mentor. I think it actually caused us to take more seriously the cost of this life on our souls. Are we living by the principles that are important to us? And it caused us to get more serious about the intentionality and all of that, which I actually think is a huge blessing. And I love how the Lord, does that. He doesn't just move in one way in one particular person's life without moving in other lives, and he's so great about that. So anyway, it's been a wild thing to get used to, but we have 3 singers that have stepped up in a just powerful way.
Yes.
They're all black, in which it has been so cool, just all the conversations and just living with each other and the cultural blend. Man, it has been so rich. I mean, when I think about the name We the Kingdom, it has felt so kingdom, just to have all this diversity and get to experience all these things together, and even to like allow this more soulful influence to come over the music. It has been a lot of joy in the midst of the sadness and you know, Franny's being gone. So it's complex, but it's, you know, the Lord's taking care of us. So
I think, like, what I feel like I'm hearing from you guys, this is all the stuff of real life. You know, you take one step, you go into the next day, you deal with things that you don't expect, but you got to keep pressing forward, and we've got to always reinvent ourselves, right? And it seems like clearly, you know, you guys are showing, even by your such boring, you know, background, that life is not like all glamour and glitz on the road. You're doing the hard work. And, you know, and if pickleball is the height of your joy, that makes you very relatable. Anybody, you know, can...
This is by far the most glamorous background within a quarter mile of where we are. We're in the dungeon portals of a cinder block arena in the middle of Philly.
So funny. So funny. Okay. Just I want to talk a little bit about some music stuff. So, of course... And I can flip over here. We've got, let's see. Of course, there's, oh, did it go? Oh, it's not working. Whatever. Won't He Do It? We've been talking about that, and just an incredible song for the church, and then so many others. But there's one kind of surprising little piece I just wanted to ask about. I don't even know if you had a hand in writing it, but I was at the Dove Awards in Nashville last week, and Torrin Wells came out and sang with Skillet this song, Take It All Back. And I was like, what is happening? This is like massive, the biggest rock song. I was like, the church will never grab onto a song like this. And wouldn't you know, last night I'm checking the top song that I need to be, you know, doing a chord chart for. That's like the next most in demand one. And it's Take It All Back. I was just like, and then I went to your Spotify page, and it's like the number one, you know, I mean, it's not the biggest song you've ever done, but it's the top. So somehow you're connected into it. I thought it just might be a fun story to just ask you about what's with that song.
That's amazing.
And
we
you
were
were
working on that last time we were in Pennsylvania.
You were.
Yeah,
we were in a hotel room.
in
That's a
Pittsburgh.
trip.
Yeah.
Would you guys have a hand in writing it? Or, I mean, I don't know anything. I was trying to look in behind, but why is this song like headlining your, you know, streaming page?
Collaboration, man. I mean, we're so thankful for Torrin. So we didn't have a hand in writing it, but, you know, he asked us to be a part of it and to throw some production ideas in there as well. And so it's a really out of the blue thing. And actually, the funny thing is, I remember we were really busy at the time, and we're kind of like, should we do this? Should we not? You know? And kind of back. We're really glad now. Obviously, they did it. It's just an incredible song. But man, it shows you the power of collaboration, and just I really appreciate Torrin as a brother having us be a part of that song. It was such an honor. So yeah, we're glad. We're wanting to do another partnership with him, so that you might be hearing something with him on it.
It comes out today.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if I could talk about it. Yeah.
It does come out today? Oh,
yeah.
Well, there you go. Then we can talk about it.
So Torrin we got to be a part of Take It All Back, so we asked him to do a version of Won't He Do It with us, and it comes out today, and it is so
funky, brother.
Fun, man. It is
really
fun.
Is it on this 33? I'm just looking here. Is it this 33 live album, or is it something else? I mean, I got to hunt around.
I'm sure it's supposed to drop today.
Was it last night or tonight?
Maybe it's tonight.
Okay.
So
I'm sure by the time this episode goes, it'll be on. So look for it. But what you're saying is Torrin Wells kind of lit it up with this, Won't He Do It?
He's singing like an angel with fire.
Yes.
Awesome.
Isn't it great when you have a part of writing a song and then you see another artist like take it and just set it on fire like in a whole nother way and put their soul and spirit into it. So that is awesome. Okay, well, I don't know. I mean, I could keep talking here, but that was most of the stuff. I just wanted to get a sense of life on the road with We the Kingdom. And thank you guys for just all being here, sitting like that and giving me a real taste, giving all of us who are listening a real taste of your world. And I honor you for the hard work that you're doing, going out and spread the gospel and spicing up, you know, church music. So there's no way church music can be boring with you guys in the mix. It's just not going to happen. So
thank you, man.
Thank you.
You know, I was just thinking, like, last thing I was thinking about reinvention, and I will say this, like, for us, both with doing something, I can't remember the adjective you used in the beginning of the conversation, but, you know, a little bit renegade.
Yeah, renegade. Yes.
It's, you know, reinvention, I don't think is something that ever works if it's something you try to create. It's kind of something you have to receive. And I do feel like for our band, anytime we have, when we were first invented, and then as we've reinvented, man, we've not tried to do that really. It's mostly just been the Lord kind of like, it's Proverbs 16:9, like him, you know, sort of directing our steps and us just walking. I do think for anybody who's a songwriter or who's watching, a musician or a creative, or a mom who's home, or a dad who's a doctor, or whatever it might be, like, man, every time we've tried to reinvent, I feel like we fall flat on our face if it's all from our own doing. But we're seeing God, his hand is like massive, and it's incredible. So
beautiful. So good. So good. Ed, you should be proud. What a great story. What a great, incredible family and ministry. All of you should be proud. So thank you for walking the way in front of us and modeling this life. So appreciate you very much. And I'm going to go and see if I can find that Torrin Wells version of Won't He Do It. I got AirPods. They're totally lame. I know it's not real Dolby Atmos, but, you know, I'm going to do my best and see if I can close my eyes and imagine the surround sound. That will be amazing. All right, guys, go back on the road. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, see ya. This is On the Road with We the Kingdom. It's, you know, it's not the real one, but it's like the real show is coming up. So watch for that one. See you later, guys. Here we go.